Welcome to Good Dates Gone Bad. I'm your host, Lee, and I have a guest today, and he's actually been on the show before. Rodney, welcome back.
How are you? Thank you for having me back.
Yay! So
a lot of bribing to get back here.
Well, we have fun on the show. So today's going to be, I'm actually going to share a story about a coworker who met a guy when she was playing pickleball, and she's married, but he's very single. And of course, he asked her, because she's very attractive, if she had any single friends, and she thought of several people, but of course she ended up landing on one friend who's a chef, and elected to set them up, and they agreed to go to a restaurant, which is a popular Mediterranean restaurant in the Atlanta area. And she was going to take her sister and her friend and make it look like just a casual date rather than just a straight up blind date for them to meet. So first thing he does is sends her a text and asks if they have a bottling or corking fee. And she said, well, yes, they do. So she's thinking, well, there's only two reasons really why a guy would ask that question, right? I mean, can you think of one reason why a guy would ask about a corking fee?
Sure, it could be all twist-off wine bottles.
Okay, well, it could be a cheap bottle. He's probably trying to bring.
It could be Manischewitz 2028.
He's trying to bring a cheap bottle in because he's being cheap and wants to save money, or he's wants to bring in a big bottle of wine and share with everybody, and maybe a bottle of wine that you can't just get anywhere, especially not in a restaurant in the restaurant industry. So she's thinking, okay, kind of a red flag asking me this question, don't you think?
Well, I think what if he just brought his own cork and did it himself?
No, they don't do that. No, well, they charge like $25, sometimes more, depending on the restaurant, for a corking fee. So she's thinking, okay, first she's thinking, I wonder which one he is, and only time will tell. So he shows up at the restaurant after the ladies are already there, they're already seated, and he's got his bottle of wine, just one bottle of wine in tow. And the ladies already have their glasses of wine, and they're sitting there drinking their glasses of wine and enjoying themselves, hanging out. And he shows up and is introduced to his blind date and proceeds to sit beside her, and they're talking a little bit. And then after not even that long at all, he says, would you like to try this bottle of wine? And, snaps his fingers to the server to come open his bottle of wine, and they're kind of looking at him like this guy's
Bill Cosby,
snapping
right?
his fingers.
Comes Bill Cosby to pour it, huh?
Right, and so he asks her if she'd like to try some wine, and she said sure. So he takes her wine that she's drinking and enjoying and pours it onto the carpet beside the table, pours her glass of wine out. Who does that?
The guy on the infomercial with the DD7 cream that cleans up the wine
that's
stain.
the only guy.
Like seconds, OxyClean. I saw that Billy Mays guy. That guy.
Okay, so luckily they were kind of over in the corner, but who does that, okay? So he's pouring out her wine, which she was enjoying, not into a water glass that was near empty, or asked her another glass to pour it out just for her to drink hers later. So he dumps hers out, and then he proceeds to pour his wine in her glass, which wasn't even that good. After all of that, the wine wasn't even that tasty. So not only did she lose the glass of wine that she paid for, she ended up getting a glass of wine that she didn't even like.
Sounds like the classic spiker. That's a spiker right there.
Yeah, I know. Well, luckily they corked it in front of her, so there was no spiking.
Yeah, but everyone was looking
unless
on the
you
ground.
stab it through the cork and inject something.
Thing. He's sitting there.
That's like some weird spy movie thing. But anyway, so she's upset about that, and everyone's appalled. Everyone's thinking, oh my God, why would he do that? Then they all order food, just light bites and all this, and he brings just enough cash to pay for his meal. He doesn't offer to pay for his date or pick up the whole table. This guy's talking like he's got multiple businesses and, all these things going on, and he's being super cheap. Okay, so I'm actually, my coworker's very embarrassed that she even thought that he would be a good option to go on a date with one of her friends, because she's a classy lady, and these are classy ladies too. So that was, the guy ended up, at the end of the date, he ended up leaving. Never in a million years would have never even opted to get another date with her again, nor would she have ever consented. But that's terrible, right? Who does that?
My question is, so the one girl he was meeting, how many other girls with
It was my coworker and my coworker's sister, they're good friends. Okay. Well, they're not sisters, but they get along great.
They're not sisters.
They travel together. No, they are sisters.
Okay.
And then my coworker's friend, who's a chef, and she was there. So there are three ladies, and then he was the fourth person.
Dude, that guy couldn't call? Shit, dude. How did he blow that one?
I think it's pretty easy. If you're going to go, he didn't. I don't think they were expecting him to buy all of their dinners. I think they were just at least expecting him to bring either a good bottle of wine if he's going to bother.
Where did they go? And who slept in a bottle of wine? I want to go.
They went to Kima.
They should have called me. I would have had him go do a tour with Pano, who I went to elementary school with. He'll take you in the kitchen. Well, I'm just saying.
She doesn't know you that well, but I can say that I think that a date like that would have been pretty bad. If anything, it gives you something funny to talk about after the date, but, there was no other physical contact other than him pouring out her glass of wine. So y'all leave a comment down below and tell me what you think about that date. And also let me know if you're interested in being on the show. I'd love to have you as a guest. And I think that my guest here, Rodney, had a shout out.
Well, I wanted to give one for my buddy Pano Keratasis at Chemo, man. I've known that kid since the 5th grade. Who knew? Anyway, so yeah, I know this show is called Good Dates Gone Bad. But I just wanted to mention a wonderful date I had. It was actually with my wife. We've been married almost 17 years, so you got to get at least one good date in every once in a while. But we did have a wonderful date on Friday. We got to reconnect. Times are tough out there.
You had a lot of unexpected things, too. You ended up meeting up with other friends at this ice cream shop.
Sure.
And you saw a random band performing.
I did. I was performing.
And they were playing Queen. What was the music?
Well, they played Queen. They played Whitney Houston.
Okay.
Oh, I want to dance.
So they played good music, so they had fun.
I actually left my phone on the bar, and then I walked from where we were standing, and I walked to go get it, and then the Backstreet Boys came on. I said, I walked back.
I'll never leave again.
No. I left the phone, came back, and was dancing. And Marcy had told these people, she was like, oh my God, I knew he would come back. He left his phone. And I was like singing, But yeah, it was good. But,
fun.
For all the bad dates out there.
It is nice to have a good date, even with your partner.
It's nice to have a good date, even with my partner.
And a lot of people think, once you're married, well, people that have never been married, maybe they think, well, once you're married, it's the fun is over, the romance is over, and that's not true. Even if you have kids, that's not true at all. My husband and I have fun dates too. So, cheers! Thank you for being on the show again.
Our kid was out of town, so we took advantage of that. Well, he was in the car. No, I was kidding. So he was in Disney, so we were able to get that empty nester date, so to speak.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
well, here's some more good dates gone bad.
Boom.
Cheers.
Cheers.